Hi, hello everyone, my name is Mariana and welcome to Mission Violin Project. Today I'm going to give some tips on how you can improve your intonation on the violin. So this is a very important topic, but before I continue, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and also to follow me on my social media, more specifically to my Instagram profile, so you can have more access and content about violin playing. Alright, so how to improve intonation on the violin? Okay, first of all, it's going to be very basic and maybe a bit stupid, but the first tip that it's essential and you cannot improve even if you try, that is to tune your violin. Alright? So as I said, number one, just tune your violin. There will be no magic if your violin is not already in tune. Okay? So actually, I also did a video a couple of months ago on how you can tune your violin, so maybe check that out. It's on my YouTube channel. Alright, other tip is for you to compare to other open strings. For example, let's just suppose that you're learning the first finger on the D string, okay? Okay, this is going to be an E, okay? The note is also an E. So D and E. And then you want to check that out if it's in tune. So what you need to do is to compare with the open string. For example, now I'm going to do on purpose, not in tune. You see that it's a bit off, right? And now also off. Alright, so basically just try to move your finger until you see that the note is similar. Okay, so basically this is a very important thing to do. It's about comparing, because intonation and also the way that we can indeed improve is also when you develop your inner hearing and you are able to compare. So at some point you will start to make progress and to realize, okay, this note is a bit out of tune. Okay. Another tip for improving intonation. For example, let's just suppose that you're a beginner and you're learning how to play a scale. Okay, so imagine that you start on the D, first finger, then second, and then the third. Something very important to realize is if you're already the first finger is not in tune, all the other fingers will not be, okay? So also the other fingers kind of come with effect, you know. So basically that's usually what happens. So make sure that your first finger on the first position is always in tune. So do the previous tip that I did. All right, so just compare. All right, and then just continue to practice the scale. Okay, we arrive here to the third finger on the A, and then so this note is a D. So basically you can compare this with the D string. You can play notes separately, or you can also try to play at the same time. If you see, if it's really in tune, when you play both notes at the same time, you will realize that it will be a bit hard to distinguish which note it is. For example, now I'm doing on purpose. You see, it's really off. Also, like not yet, just move the finger until it matches. Alright? But something also important for you to know is that when we are playing, for example, that we shouldn't be all the time just like correcting. For example, we'll try to explain a different way. So sliding the finger every time is actually a bad habit, okay, for also the purpose of intonation, because you're kind of saving that information. So imagine that you're repeating all the time this sequence. And this finger is not yet, and then you slide up, all right? So sliding is good for you to realize if the note is too low or too high, but once you are able to identify it, if you're doing all the time low, okay, too low, then you should be reprogramming your brain to play from the right moment, from that moment on, right in tune. So instead of practicing all the time, and then you correct with the sliding, just reprogram, take a break, breathe out, and then you make an effort because you already know that it's going to be low. You stretch a bit more. All right, so I hope it's clear. So first I was just explaining on how the sliding will be important for you to realize, comparing to the other string. If the note is in tune, but once you know that you always play that note out of tune, and you know that if it's too low or too high, then reprogram your brain and do correctly from that right moment. Okay, so for you not to saving wrong information and then you're going to repeat, so like this is kind of a computer, and we need to make it work, so your brain will tell, okay, that one is always out of tune, so choose to do slowly. Okay, slower is always better, and then identify what the mistake is, if it's too low or too high, and then you will say to your hands, fingers, that okay, I need to stretch or not stretch so much that finger. All right, so those are my tips of today. I hope these were helpful. Let me know, give me some feedback, and also let me know which tips did you find more useful, and I will see you in a future video. Bye!